What up, YouTube? It's JP Chillin69 here, coming to you with a Fire King deck profile. This is post Judgment of the Light because we went to the sneak peek and got a kit and extra packs, and I was lucky enough to pull all the stuff I needed to build this deck. So I figured I'd put a video of it up on YouTube. So here we go. You got your 3 boss monster, the Fire King avatar, Garunix. Can't go wrong with it because it just is your constant dark hole, and now you can play 3 because some people try and say 2, but you can play 3 now with Yaksha finally out, so there's that. And then your 3 searcher is Barong. You gotta play 3 because it just searches your spells out, and the spells in this deck are just insanely broken. You can't go wrong with any of them. And then for the new card, you got the 3 Fire King avatar Yaksha. This card's a little bit different than the rest of them because it doesn't have to be destroyed by a card effect to get its effect, it's just if it's destroyed. And since it can destroy a card in your hand, it helps get rid of those dead Garunixes in your hand, or worst case, you can send a Barong and search your spells, and then you can just go off from there. And then I play the 3 Flameville Fire Dog because it's just a 1900 beater, and it searches if it destroys a card, and it can bump heads with Thunder King. It just goes really well with the deck. And then I like to play 2 Gorilla. Everyone says you should play Bears, but I mean, Bear's good and all, but Gorilla pops back row, and back row can sometimes be a pain for this deck, so you can't go wrong with just popping a few back row, and still it can run over monsters and get searches just like Bear can. And then some more new cards. I play the 2 Coach Soldier Wolf Bark. Card's broken, you can just special summon a Beast Warrior level 4 from your graveyard in defense position. It just really helps you XYZ in the cards that you need to go into. Or I mean, you can just set up later plays, or specially Yaksha and destroy another card in hand, or you can just do so many plays with this. And then one tech that I like to play is the Coach Captain Bearman, because it helps you hit rank 8s, and you can go ridiculous combos with this card and make into like Coach King Giant Trainer, this big guy, and he's just ridiculously broken. So that's it for monsters. Then we go spells. We got 3 Onslaught of the Fire Kings. It's one of the best spells in the deck. You can just basically, if your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you can special summon 1 and it's destroyed at end phase. So 95% of the time you're going to special your Garunix, and then at the end phase he's going to be destroyed. And then standby phase's effect will trigger, and he'll special back and blow up the whole field. And then you play the 3 Circle of the Fire King. It's basically like another lance, or a way to keep your monsters from getting like dimensional prisoned or like bottomless trap hold, because you got to keep your Garunixes in the game because it's kind of a pain when they get removed from play. And worst case, you can like always push for game with this card. Like if you need to do enough damage, you can just attack and then circle, special another fire monster, and then do enough damage. Then I play the 3 Tenki. It searches basically almost any card in this deck. It searches Wolf Bark, it searches Gorilla, it searches Yaksha and Barong, so also giving that little 100 boost in case you need to get over some cards. It just goes really good in this deck. You gotta play 3. And then some people don't play them, but I do. I play the 2 Lance because it helps you get over other monsters that are a pain. Like if they have something that's higher than your Fire Dog and you want to get its effect off, you can always Lance. Or like if your monster's going to be destroyed and you don't have a circle, you can just play Lance. And then these are 2 Rekindlings. Like I don't have them on me because I let a friend borrow them because he was playing some Laval deck, and I was like, okay, well you can use them and I'll get them back from you soon. But those are 2 Rekindlings. Most of them have 200 defense, like Yaksha and Fire Dog and Barong, so basically you can just push for big plays with that. Then I play Heavy Storm and Foolish Burial. I don't play Reborn or Dark Hole because you basically have a Dark Hole every standby phase if you get the Garunix loop going. And then Foolish Burial just helps you to put them in grave in case you have like circles in hand and all that good stuff. So that's it for spells. Then I play for traps. I play 2 Torrential because you can Torrential with all your monsters on board and they'll almost all get their effects, like Barong's Search and Garunix's Destruction. I'll just keep going off, so there's no way to minus with this card. And then I play 2 Mirror Force, just for mass removal, because you can't go wrong with mass removal these days. And then 2 Call of the Haunted, because you can just special back a monster, and then if Garunix blows it up, it gets its effect. Or if they blind MST and they hit Call of the Haunted, you can just chain it, and then they technically get destroyed by a card effect. And then they get their effects on the standby phase, mostly. And then I play the 3 Horn of the Phantom Beast. You can play 2, you don't really need it at all, but it helps you make big pushes with like almost all your Beast Warriors. Like, you can put it on Gorilla to attack over something and get your tanky search, or you can put it on Fire Dog and Special 1, and then you just get to draw a card, so you really can't go wrong there. So that's it for traps. It's a 41 card deck. And then for the extra deck, I play the 1 Coach King Giant Trainer. This card's ridiculous if you can make it. That's why I like the Bearman, because it's 3 level 8s, and then, because with Bearman you can just make a level 4 Beast Warrior. All level 4 Beast Warriors become level 8 until the end phase, but you can only overlay into Fire Warriors. But this card, basically, 3 times per turn, you can just detach a material to draw a card, and if it's a monster, then they take 800 damage, so worst case scenario, you're drawing 3 cards, but you could draw 3 cards and still burn them for 2400. And then, for the Beast XYZs, play the 2 number 44 Sky Pegasus. You don't really need it, it's not that good, but it's just because it's a beast. It can get big with Horn of the Phantom Beast, and sometimes its effect's pretty good. You can either take their damage or they can destroy a card. And then play the Diamond Direwolf. Really good card, just basically like a Scrap Dragon for XYZs, and so you can just get the rest of their effects with that, like destroy a Yaksha and blow up cards in hand, all that good stuff. And then mostly generics. Play like an Abyss Dweller, because water's still a deck, and that deck just can be shut down easily with Abyss Dweller. And then I play the Crazy Box, because it's just an Eradicator target. You can't go wrong with just a generic Eradicator. And then Gaga Cowboy, staple. I only play 1 Maestro. I'm looking to pick up a second one, because if you have the Garunix Dark Hole loop basically going, you can just overlay into this, and then it'll get destroyed twice, and you'll still have it for next turn to do a little bit more damage. Then, I was playing 2 Lavalval Chain. I really only want to run 1, like I want to take one of these out for the Maestro, but I had space to play 2. It's good when you can go into it, because you can just ditch a Garunix in the grave, and then like you can circle with it, you can get it back if you need it, if it's going to be destroyed. It's a pretty good card with this deck. And I play Digesto Emerald. It's just pretty much generic, and if late game maybe I need some monsters back, who knows. And then Black Ship of Corn, pretty much staple. Shockmaster. I mean, you can make it sometimes, like with Rekindling and Wolf Bark and stuff like that, and it can be a pretty good card against some matchups. Utopia, and then Papilloperative. And so, that was basically the deck. Tell me what you think about it. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, and keep watching.